Chapter 1 Introduction.
First of all, statistics is defined as a way to apply mathematics that related to collecting, organizing, and interpreting data of a numerical value. It is used to make a conclusion or decision based on the data. There are two types of statistics, which include descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics refer to summarize the characteristics of the dataset, while inferential statistics is used to make a hypothesis about a population based on findings from a sample. Happiness is related to an individual's emotions involving feelings of satisfaction, joy, proud, and more. It is also defined as a life that fulfills someone's needs. In this context, happiness is an achievement to always become more positive and smile. It helps someone to release stress and avoid them to commit suicide, which will last to death if not overcome it. By having happiness, we can create and develop a positive side of ourselves, which will make a more comfortable environment to sit on. However, happiness is not something easy to achieve. In this life, everyone has difficulties that they had to face. For instance, many people in this world have faced a financial crisis. As we know, just a small percentage of people who manage to solve this problem. It will lead someone to become sad, which is the counter to happiness. Besides, people who suffer from an illness such as cancer, heart failure, dementia, and more will also make them feel sad, grief, or stress. Moreover, happiness is vital for us to have as it helps us to connect with numerous benefits. Also, it is one of the primary keys to success. It is because when we create happiness in our life, we can have a good communication with others, have many friends, and also develop the productivity of our life. Objectives of the study. The first one is we want to know the analysis for gender and race. Secondly is to find the relationship between cumulative grade point average, CGPA, and gender. In addition, we also want to identify the relationship between cumulative grade point average and race. Furthermore, is to analyze which gender have more level of happiness. Other than that, we also want to identify the most highest level happiness according to race. And lastly, is we also want to indicate the highest level of happiness student based on current GPA.
Chapter 2 Methodology.
First of all, this study is a descriptive research in nature. In this context, descriptive research is defined as a research method that explains about the characteristic of the population or phenomenon being studied. It is important to make comparison, make decisions, and go further for data analysis. In this research, primary data is what we have used to collect data from survey that we have conducted by using Google Form. A few questionnaires have we provided that should be answered by the foundation management students from University Utara Malaysia. In this study, 152 students out of 221 students of the course have answered the questionnaire that had been given to find out the factors that affect academic performance of foundation management students based on their level of happiness.
Chapter 3 Respondents Analysis.
The pie chart shows the gender of foundation students. Female students account for 120 of the total 152 students, while male students account for just 32 of the total 152. The mode of gender is female, which occupies 79% of the foundation student population, while male students only occupy up to 21%. Analysis for race. The bar graph indicates that Malay is the most common race among the sample students. The total of Malay students is 134 among the 152 students, which is 88.16%. Total Chinese student is 11 and 5 for others. Indian is the minor race of all foundation students, with only 2 students accounting for 1.32% of the total. Analysis for GPA class. For this part of analysis, the student's current GPA is grouped based on GPA class. Students with GPA within 3.67 to 4 flat are grouped as first class honors. Students with GPA of 3.00 to 3.66 are grouped as upper second class, while students with GPA of 2.00 to 2.99 are grouped as lower second class. Based on the pie chart, 88.16% of the students got the GPA class of first class honors, which is the highest GPA class. This shows that more than half of the students fall in the class. 11.84%, which is only 18 students, got the GPA class of upper second class. Fortunately, no foundation student get a lower second class. This proves that foundation students are very smart in academics, that no one fall lower than lower second class. Relationship between respondent profile analysis. Relationship between race and CGPA. From the box plot, the average CGPA for Malay students is 3.82 with a median of 3.85. The majority of them have CGPA of 3.62. 3.43 is the lowest CGPA and 4.0 is the highest. Next, the average CGPA for Chinese students is 3.65 and the majority of them receive a 4.0. 3.83 is the lowest CGPA and 4.0 is the highest. The average CGPA for Indian students is 3.79 with a median of 3.78, but the mode is unavailable. 3.62 is the highest CGPA, while 3.65 is the lowest CGPA for Indian students. The mean CGPA for students who state others is 3.88 with a median 3.9. 3.95 is the highest and 3.73 is the lowest for others. As a result, we can deduce from the median that Chinese students have a higher CGPA than Malay, Indian and other students. Relationship between current GPA and gender. Based on the median from the table and graph, we can see that male perform better than female, with male receiving 3.89 for current GPA and female receiving just 3.85. Since it is insensitive to outliers, the median is used as the central tendency indicator. The male interquartile range is 0.13, while the female interquartile range is 0.17. Since the interquartile range of both gender are identical to each other, the data distribution from the median of both gender is similar. As a result, based on the median, we can conclude that male have a higher GPA than female. Both female and male students receive a maximum grade of 4.0, with female students receive a minimum grade of 3.43 and male students receive a minimum grade of 3.62.
Chapter 4. Analysis related to the topic.
First and foremost, to analyze which gender have more level of happiness. In this analysis, we use the method of box plot. Based on the table and figure, the median of mean score on level happiness of female is 3.8276, which is slightly lower than that of male with a mean score of 3.9310. This shows that both female and male are in the mood of happy, but male is slightly happier. Median is chosen as a central tendency measure because there is an outlier of 4.9655 and 2.6207 both in the female and male population respectively. In terms of variability measure, the interquartile range for female and male are 0.44828 and 0.50862 respectively. This shows that 20% of the female and male have the mean score equal or lower than 3.6207 and 3.7500 respectively, while 25% of the female and male have the mean score equal or higher than 4.0690 and 4.2586 respectively. Next, to identify the most highest level happiness according to race. In this analysis, we use the bar graph method. Based on table for number of students, mean and standard deviation for mean score of different race, and also bar graph of mean for mean score of different races on level happiness, generally the mean of mean score for all races are more than 3. This shows that all races in the foundation program are above the half of level of happiness. However, from the bar graph, we can clearly see that Chinese are the happiest race by looking at their mean of mean score, followed by Malay, others, and Indian. Mean is chosen as the central tendency measurement because it considers all the data. Besides that, the standard deviation for Malay, Chinese, Indians, and others are 0.3781, 0.4052, 0.8778, and 0.3166 respectively. The standard deviation shows that generally all the data varies with the mean of mean score by less than 1 and does not vary a lot from each other. Last but not least, to indicate the highest level happiness students based on current GPA. In this analysis, the students are grouped into their respective GPA class. First class honors refer to the group of students with the current GPA of 3.67 to 4.00. Upper second class is the group of students with the GPA of 3.00 to 3.66, while lower second class represent the student with the GPA of 2.00 to 2.99. There are no lower second class students based on this sample. Based on the table and the box plot, the median of mean score is the student with the result of first class honors is 3.8448, while upper second class is 3.9138. From here, students who does not really perform in the academic field are less happy compared to the student who score good grades. Moreover, the interquartile range for first class honors and upper second class are the same, which is 0.4138. Both sets of data does not vary a lot from the median.
Chapter 5. Conclusion.
Based on respondents' analysis, we can see that both male and female students are in happy mood, but male students are slightly happier than female students. Based on the fact that male students are lesser than female students in this foundation program, shows how much happier the male students can be, as there are only 32 of them compared with 130 amounts of female students. Next, all of the races which consist of Malay, Chinese, Indians and also others in foundation program are likely to be above the half of the level happiness. Based on data, we can clearly see that Chinese is the happiest race, followed by Malay, others and Indians. Lastly, students who does not really perform in their academics seems to be less happy than students who scored good grades. It is because maybe they are worrying too much and need to study harder in order to achieve good grades. In conclusion, based on the surveys and analysis, we can conclude that the survey works to find out how happy students in foundation program during their study period based on plenty factors that we can see.